Should you use a teleprompter while you're filming your videos for social media? This is going to depend on who you are as a person and how you function within the context of a teleprompter. For some people, this is going to be exceptionally helpful. For some people, it will be moderately helpful. And for some people, it's actually going to hurt what you're doing. So let's break down how this works so you can make the best decision for you. Now, for me, I can work with a teleprompter, but I typically do not work with a teleprompter. Right now, I'm just speaking directly to the camera, and in a second, I'm going to show you what it's like when I do use a teleprompter. For me, I like to make sure I have that in my back pocket should I need it. So every once in a while, I will create videos using a teleprompter. I use these when I have a very specific message I want to say, and I want to say it in a very intentional way. If I want to say something word for word, I'll use a teleprompter. But I also from time to time use a teleprompter just to make sure I don't lose the skill, because let me be clear, this is a skill. Working with a teleprompter requires skill and practice. It's not going to be something you're good at immediately, and it also depends on the technology that you're using. So we're going to break all of this down for you so you can make a good decision. But for me, I typically don't use a teleprompter all the time, but I make sure I do it from time to time so I don't lose those skills should I need it for filming something in the future or an opportunity that I have, or if somebody asks me to give some type of conversation or speech where I'm required to read it off of a teleprompter. I want to make sure I have those skills. So what exactly is a teleprompter? A teleprompter for most people in this day and age is going to be an app on your phone. There will be an app on your phone where you can put your text in and it will scroll across your screen word for word so that you can read it. Now, if you are using an app on your phone, there will be abilities to control the speed of it. So you can slow it down, you can speed it up. But if you want to get fancy about it, if you're somebody who's going to use this for all of your videos, I actually recommend investing in different pieces of technology to allow you to control it as you go. What I have learned for teleprompters in terms of apps and things is that it will start at a certain speed and it will speed it up or slow it down. So as you're reading it, you'll be consistent for a while and then it will change and you'll either have to speed yourself up or dramatically slow yourself down just to keep up with it. I don't love that, but I know that there are certain pieces of technology that you can like have a pedal on the floor and control it with your foot to move it forward, move it backward, to pause it. Those are amazing. And if I were to use teleprompters all the time, which I don't, but if I did, I would highly recommend investing in that piece of technology to make sure you could do it. Because that's my biggest hang up with teleprompters is that it changes the speed while I'm reading it. Even if it was consistent for a minute, then it changes and I have to redo things. I don't like that stress. I like being able to control it myself for how quickly I'm talking. Or if I think of something that I want to pause and add in something that I hadn't written in my script, I want to be able to do that. So that's an opportunity for you to be able to go less tech or more tech with this, depending on how you're doing it. It's going to scroll across the screen so that you can read it as it goes. It's going to make it very easy for you to say exactly what you want, but you do have to practice for that. Because when it comes to this, if you just type out your script and then put it in, and you haven't practiced with your inflection, the way that you're going to read it, the words that you have written, believe me, you are going to trip yourself up a number of times. And with a teleprompter, for most people, you're not then stopping to record in sections. You're just doing the entire thing direct to camera one time. So if you mess up, now you have to start again. We're not going to be editing things out. So practicing before you use your teleprompter is important and is something that I frequently forget. And then I trip myself up and I have to do it a couple of times. So let's take a look at how this works with a teleprompter. This section is being filmed inside a teleprompter. Teleprompters can be a great way to make sure you say exactly what you want while recording a video, but there are a few factors to keep in mind. Your technology can make or break your video. The speed a teleprompter plays at can affect your ability to read the script that you've written. Your proximity to the recording device can highlight or mask that you're reading a script. And how well you've practiced reading that script can also impact what you're creating. So, is a teleprompter worth it to you? Clearly, teleprompters have the benefit of being able to say word for word exactly what you want to say, but you do have to make the time and effort to practice in advance, to control the speed, to actually set the fonts and figure out how it works best for you. Sometimes people will jump into a teleprompter and they'll just put the script without putting space for it to start recording. It jumps immediately into it, and then they get behind immediately. You have to practice with this to see if it's going to work best for you. Some people are going to do better talking direct to camera and just saying the points that you need to say. Even if you need to have like a bullet point list of the things you're talking about next to your recording device, you can do that and that works better for you. Just for some people, it's better just to read it word for word. So whatever you feel most comfortable with, is what you should be doing. Now, I recommend all creators should learn how to do both things. You should be able to talk direct to camera and just have a conversation about the things that you know really well. You should be able to converse with me one-on-one because this is going to have implications on how you do public speaking gigs, podcasts, live streams, how you have conversations with people in person, how you teach at conferences. That is incredibly important to be able to think on the fly, have those conversations, and track the bullet points that you are talking about in your speech while you're doing it in real time is incredibly important. But also being able to go through a script and say exactly what you need to say the way you do and read it on screen while you're having that conversation is a skill that's really, really important for the success of your business and for the ability to communicate properly to your audience. So I recommend you learn how to do both and then see what feels best for you. You can heavily lean on one versus the other as long as you're taking the time to learn those skills, to know what fits best for you and for your audience, and to leverage what is going to save you the most time and effectively communicate with your audience. Like I said, I do both. I love to use my teleprompter once in a while to make sure I still have those skills, or if there's something I really need to say in a very specific way. But I also very much like talking directly to you like I'm doing right now. Now, back in the beginning of my career, I did have to have a bullet point list nearby. I've also taught you guys, if you are filming videos, do them in sections so you don't have to memorize the entire thing or remember what you're talking about next or remember that next point. But I also very much like talking direct to camera and making myself remember all those things. That helps me when I'm doing public speaking, when I am on stages, when I'm on live streams, when I'm on podcasts. I can go with whatever the conversation is because I've had that practice and because I developed those skills through this. So, is a teleprompter right for you? I will link the teleprompter that I use down below. I very much like the way that it does its work because you can change the font size, you can change the speed. Like I said, it sometimes does speed up or slow down just indiscriminately in the middle of a video. So sometimes it's a little bit of a hang up, but I do like that. I like the ability to have different devices that can control the speed of your teleprompters if that's something you want to have in the future. I don't own those because I don't use those as much, but I've seen them. They're fantastic. If you need recommendations, let me know. I'll do the research for you. I love doing research on tech, so I will happily give you that information if that's something that you're looking for. But teleprompters can make or break what you're doing. They can be a really great skill to have and a really good tool to use for the right people. And also, it's a really good thing to try whether or not you think you're going to like it, just to see how you do with it. Challenging yourself in any way, stepping outside of your comfort zone and learning a new skill is only going to benefit you. It's going to teach you how you communicate most effectively, whether you like it or not. It teaches you how to do something differently, which will make you more flexible and a better entrepreneur all around. Teleprompters. For some people, it's great. For some people, not so much. But for everybody, it's a wise skill to try, especially because the app I'm showing you is free. I use the free version. It's not a big deal. You can test it out, see how it goes for you. It goes directly to your phone. There are other things that you can be doing on your computer. You can actually get teleprompter devices. There's lots to it, but this is a very easy, accessible entryway into seeing how this works for you to make sure that you're developing your skills and continuing to grow as an entrepreneur. Drop your questions about teleprompters or about filming direct to camera without teleprompters, and we'll continue to help you with videos teaching you how to navigate the world of TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Lemon8, live streaming, and the tools and resources you need to level up your content creation so you can create luxury time in your business so you can live your best life but still run your business without the time and stress and still make a bunch of money online. We'll see you in the upcoming videos.